Good morning and welcome back to RGO Photo. I'm Chris. I've been testing a lot of those EF Canon lenses, trying to find one that's going to suit me to just kind of leave on my camera most of the time. But most of them I find are quite lacking in one way or another. So I finally had to bite the bullet and I bought the 24-105 f4L lens. It's the original version. It's image stabilized, and so before we put it on the test chart, my little homemade test chart, I figure let's get some photos and see how those turn out, because some of those other lenses I was actually kind of fine with until I put them on the test chart. So the idea being, let's get a few photos and then we'll put it on the test chart and see what it looks like, see if reality matches the test. So I think in this particular video we're going to do the 24 to 50 millimeter. We'll put that up against the OG's 28 and 50 millimeters because it has a really good 28 and 50 millimeters. Then I think in the next video we'll do the 80 and 100. Otherwise this video would be way too long, because seeing as the amount of money you spend on an L lens, what I don't want to do is just jump in and do 2 apertures. We'll do 3 apertures probably. Out here at the lake, and that may be a familiar sight right there. This morning I unboxed the 24-105 and was very impressed by the way it feels, the way it looks, and the way it zooms. Very smooth, very smooth. So let's start taking some photos before the sun gets too high. We're gonna get a little sunflower right here. Got the sun right about 90 degrees to this one. And I hope you like sunflowers, because there's definitely gonna be some more of those coming. So we're gonna take some shots here, just trying to get a feel for the lens and see if anything glaring pops up. We'll take a portrait as well, and then take it into what's apparently one of my favorite crops, the 1x1. Out on a floating dock, here the IS will come in handy. Here we got the classic mirror image. You can see the clouds in the calm water. Again, we're going to switch to vertical. And I left plenty up on top and on bottom so that I can take it into that 1x1. Here I was taking a photo and a duck came by, so I'm trying to grab the duck, but the duck is not in focus, and 105 millimeters is not a wildlife lens. So we're not bothering with the specifics on these because that duck is not in focus. And eventually it swims off and out of my life. Here's our last example photo from the morning. A nice sunflower with the lake and Cheyenne Mountain behind it. Then we're going to take it into a 4x3 crop, and then the 1x1. So now let's go to the test chart, and we're going to start with the OG at 3.5 and the L lens, as we'll call it, the L lens at f4, which is its widest aperture. Alright, OG on the left, 28 to 80 at 28 millimeters. And I've moved the tripod ever so slightly to try to get the same framing, or similar framing at least, as the L lens, as we'll call it, at 24 millimeters over here on the right. Note we've got barrel distortion on both and vignetting. And something else I noticed is the lens hood on the 24-105. You can see clearly in the shadow here, being a slightly closer to the test board as well. And you can barely see the lens here on the OG. So 4 millimeters plus the lens hood makes a big shadow. So let's go. We got 3.5 here on the left, and we're at 4.0, the widest aperture, on the L. And we're really close on sharpness here. I mean, this one looks really good on the L, and that contrast makes it maybe look even better. might be sharper, but let's go up to the wording. I feel like the OG's wording is sharper, even though doesn't quite have the contrast. Let's start checking out some of these corners here. I think the OG's corner's better there. Let's go down the bottom right. Tough to say. That one's close. OG may have that one. Ooh, I think the OG's better in that corner too. So it looks like maybe the OG is slightly better overall. Definitely better on this corner. Slightly better overall at 3.5. So let's take the OG to f4, the same as the L lens. So it looks like some of our vignetting went just slightly away. Oh, come on. Ain't got time for that. So let's go in the middle here. OG at f4. I don't know if the OG improved by stopping down a little bit. Let's go with the wording. I feel like this wording's better over here on the L lens. Let's check just a couple corners here at f4. Definitely the OG's corners looks like it's sharpened up a little bit. Let's check this one. Yeah, OG's corners are still better. This one was really close in the other aperture, but definitely goes to the OG now. Just sharper by a little bit. So now let's go to f4.5 on both. So OG is still on the left. Go back into the centers here. Look at that Zendeutsch. 4.5, I think the L lens is picking up some steam here. Let's check out this wording. Though the OG is right there. OG might be clearer, crisper. It just lacks that contrast. Either way, really close there in the centers. Let's check out a couple of these corners. Remember, we're still at f4.5, and I think the OG still has that corner. Let's check this bottom right. Real close again. That looks pretty good on the L lens. I think the L lens has this. Yeah, these words, they seem clearer, I think. Yeah. This top right or top left was a good corner for the OG as well, but I think the L lens has it now. So now let's go to 5.6. Oh, come on. Make sure we're straight here on which side's what. All right, OG still on the left. So we're 5.6 on both. I think that's sharper here on the Zendeutsch mark, and we look at this little writing right here. Yeah, little better. That's real crisp. Let's see what we got here. So it looks like here at 5.6, our center now goes to the L lens. Yeah, 5.6, the L lens is cleaning up pretty nicely. But the OG is still hanging in there. I mean, I think you got to give it some credit. It's still hanging in there. It's still close over here in that bottom left. Let's check that top left. I think the OG is still better. So that's our 24 millimeters. I tell you what, the OG is really still showing itself, giving itself. I tell you what, at 24 millimeters, 28 I guess for the OG, it's still a really good lens down there. Okay, we're at 50 millimeters, and both of these are the L lens. We got f4 on the left and f4.5 on the right. The OG does not do f4 at 50 millimeters. That's when it changes over to 4.5. So let's just look at f4 against 4.5 real quick. Let's check out some of this wording. Notice the weirdness of the color here. Go to a corner. Corner looks pretty good. Should look a little better on the right. A little bit. It is only 1/3 of a stop. I don't know if it looks any better on the right or not on that corner. So f4 on the left, 4.5 on the right. So let us now compare 4.5s. Alright, so OG on the left, L on the right, both at 4.5, 50 millimeters. And even on the OG, we got the weirdness going on here. I don't know what that is. So clearly the L lens is sharper. Let's check this left side, because the left side looks like the left side of the test chart is better on the L. But at 28 and 24 millimeters, the OG was better, and OG's better in that bottom left. But the bottom right, I think, goes over here to the L. So let's go 5.6. 50 millimeters, 5.6. OG still on the left. That's pretty sharp there, that Deutschmark. Check that wording. Nice and legible. I think a little cleaner over here, even though it lacks the contrast of this one. Let's go to the corners. I think the L has that one. That's looking pretty good on the L on the right. Yeah. I think this one's a little cleaner. Yeah, L lens has it here, I think, at 55.6. So we're going to go to 50 millimeters, 6.3 on both. So the OG is still on the left, 6.3. So we just bumped up ever so slightly from 5.6, and I feel like the OG might be sharper. If anybody has any idea why this image sometimes gets flattened out like this, like it has no contrast, no nothing, I don't know. I mean, there's no flash, so it's not getting flashed or anything. Same lighting, nothing changes. I just simply changed the lens. L lens, that corner definitely belongs to the L lens there. Let's go to the bottom left. This is the OG's corner, but this looks really good. Let's see what happens. Still looks really good here. It's just the L lens is a little bit better. Did we check this one? Or was I talking and forgot? Again, not that much separation, but this one's definitely clearer and definitely just better. So 50 millimeters, 6.3 goes to the L lens, although the center's close. It might be the lack of contrast over here on the right, but it's close, real close. Currently, I'm really happy with the performance of this lens down here at 24 and 50 millimeters. Now, it didn't beat the OG a lot of times. They were probably split overall 50-50 between the two different focal lengths and the multiple apertures we looked at. But the OG is also very good down here at 28 and 50 millimeters. It just falls off a cliff after that. So it's a testament to the OG lens itself, and hopefully this will continue as we go to 80 and 105 millimeters in the next video. Now, the example photos I showed earlier at 24 millimeters, I didn't do any correction for barrel distortion. So if you noticed any and I missed it, let me know, because I didn't correct for anything in Lightroom. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you liked it, go ahead and give us that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down there, and as always, thanks for watching.